Nico or Nolan? Who goes first overall in the draft? Who is Miro Heiskanen and where did he come from? And is Cale Makar worth the risk? There are just so many storylines heading into the 2017 NHL entry draft, and while there's no clear top-end talent, teams are bound to find a quality player. How's it going, guys? Miroki here, and here is my 2017 NHL mock draft for the first 15 picks. But before I get into it, let me do a bit of housekeeping. My drafting mentality is to always pick the best player available regardless of team need. Because further down the line, if you have a surplus in one area, you can then trade one of those pieces to fill a hole in another area of need. Draft picks are a currency, and you should always be looking to get the most value out of your pick. Also, I'd just like to say that I'm not claiming to be some pro scout. No, I don't know everything about these players. Some of these players I've watched a ton of, and some of these players I haven't watched enough of, and I've had to rely on secondary sources. So if you disagree with some of my picks, I would love to hear why in the comments. That's what makes this fun. Lastly, I tried to include some extra stats that weren't just games played, goals, assists, points, stuff like that, to try and make things a little bit more interesting, in depth, and in some cases I was able to find like primary points, 5-on-5 points, and in other cases I could only find shots on goal per game, stuff like that, but hopefully it'll be interesting for you guys, and without further ado, here is my 2017 NHL mock draft. So, with the first overall pick in my mock draft, the New Jersey Devils select Nico Hischier. The Devils need a lot of things, so why not start with the most talented playmaker in the draft? Nico's a dynamic center who processes the game at a high speed and makes everyone around him on the ice better. His deceptiveness with the puck and his skating ability is his strongest weapon, and I really like his work ethic and ability to play in both ends of the ice. He's also gonna look filthy beside Taylor Hall in the future. Moving on to the second overall pick, I have the Philadelphia Flyers selecting Nolan Patrick. The Flyers cannot pass on the big-bodied Patrick regardless of his injuries. A year removed from a 102-point season, Patrick is an above-average skater with a deceptive change of pace. He owns an excellent shot that can find the smallest of openings, and his release is already at a pro level. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 9 games next year and then gets sent back down to the WHL. And that's not me trying to knock him as a player, I just think that might be best for his development. Next at third, assuming the Dallas Stars keep their pick, I have them taking Miro Heiskanen. After moving up 4 spots in the draft lottery, the Stars find themselves in the position to draft an elite player with the 3rd overall pick in Miro Heiskanen. The Finnish defenseman plays a mature two-way game, as in he more often than not makes the high percentage play with a strong first pass leading the breakout. He's extremely mobile and athletic and can quarterback a power play. This year in the top Finnish league, he played top pairing minutes as a 17-year-old. His team's 5v5 Corsi without him on the ice was 49.3%, and with him on the ice, it was 52.9%. This guy has catapulted up the draft rankings as of late and is looking like the real deal. At number 4, Colorado takes Gabe Velarde. They're getting a big, versatile forward that can play both on the wing and down the middle. Dober Prospect says that while his skating is average, it's not a liability. Velarde loves to play down low on the offensive zone, using his strength and frame to create plays and keep possession. Couple his strength with a strong playmaking ability, and Velarde is one of the most dangerous offensive players in the draft. Also of note is that he is an August birthday, making him one of the youngest players in the draft, almost a full year younger than Nolan Patrick. At number 5, the Canucks take Casey Mittelstadt out of the USHL. The thing I love about Mittelstadt the most is that he's a competitor. Casey hates to lose. He seemingly has a motor that never quits, and he has a lethal package of speed, skill, and hockey sense. Bigger players don't faze him, as he thinks the game analytically and will find chinks in the opposition's armor on the fly. As a result, Mittelstadt is often seen forcing more complicated plays that the opposition won't be able to read in time. Some are worried about his low 5-on-5 point production, but I think his elite puck skill more than makes up for it. Mittelstadt also had an interesting draft year in that he started off in the USHL and then decided to go back to high school hockey to try and win his state championship one more time. I don't think it'll impact his draft stock too much, but I do think it would be interesting to see how he could have fared in a full season in the USHL, as he was leading the league in first-year scoring before he left. With the 6th pick, the Vegas Golden Knights select Cody Glass out of the Portland Winterhawks. Strong in the offensive zone and underrated defensively, his transition game is outstanding, but a lot of it has to do with his acute hockey sense and making the right reads, especially in the neutral zone. Perhaps his biggest strength is that he does everything well. He has a hard shot with a quick release, can thread the needle with a pass to a teammate in stride, and his footwork and balance make it hard for defenders to predict what he will do next. Overall, a great two-way center. At number 7, Arizona takes Cale Makar. The offensive defenseman out of the AJHL can burn teams with his quick hands and even quicker feet. He has an explosive first 3 steps along with fantastic edge work that allows him to rush the puck up ice with ease. The combination of skating and puck control makes Makar one of the best defensemen in the draft alone, and when you add in his excellent vision, passing, and shooting, it is no wonder why he's being considered a top 10 pick. It'll be interesting to see what he can do at the college level next year, as he will be able to add more strength to his frame. If Arizona actually takes Makar, their power play of the future is going to be filthy. With him quarterbacking the power play, you also have Clayton Keller, Max Domi, Dylan Strome, so many young talented players, they're going to be insane. The Buffalo Sabres take with the 8th pick, Owen Tippett. Tippett may be the best pure goal scorer in the draft. He's able to get his shot off quick and hard, making him dangerous from all over the ice. He's also able to use his speed and strength to shrug off defenders on the rush and get to high scoring areas. He reminds me a bit of Jay Virtanen in his draft year, which makes me a little skeptical, and I haven't really seen him enough to judge his decision making. He may be benefiting from being a man amongst boys, but I think if he can figure out how to translate his game to the pro level, he has all the tools to be a dominant player. At number 9, the Detroit Red Wings select Martin Necas. The Red Wings could be getting a steal here at number 9 in Necas, as a lot of scouts believe that he has the potential to be a true number 1 center. He's one of the best skaters in the draft with a great first 3 strides and end-to-end speed. He's able to find the seams to make great passes and knows how to change gears coming through the neutral zone in order to break in. He's also extremely hardworking and loves to compete. He's strong on the forecheck, strong on the back check. He's just a player that you would love to have playing for you. He could stand to gain a little muscle, as he is weighing in at 168 pounds. To round out the top 10, the Florida Panthers select Elias Pettersson. The crafty two-way forward who can play both center and wing is best described as a tenacious jack-of-all-trades type player. There's a uniqueness about him, and his puck handling abilities are buttery smooth. As lanky as he looks, Pettersson is a bona fide assassin who absorbs hits while controlling the puck with his head up. Elias Pettersson is a complete hockey player with exceptional hockey sense who brings intellect and youthful exuberance to a game that feeds on his kind of exciting athleticism. With the 11th pick, I have the LA Kings taking Swedish defenseman Timothy Liljegren. While fellow D-man Heskinen's draft stock rose throughout the year, Liljegren's did the opposite, as he sat out the beginning of the season with mono. It took him a while to get back to the level he was at last year that made him one of the top prospects of the class. Liljegren is a smooth skater with a heavy shot, but needs to improve his decision making with the puck in his own zone. That's not to say he can't defend, as there are occasions where he displays textbook one-on-one coverage and understands when to release from chasing, and his active stick and timely poke checks can save him from instances in which he overcommits or loses a step on an on-rushing opponent. Overall, I see Liljegren as a high-risk, high-reward pick, which is why I don't have him in my top 10. At number 12, Carolina takes Eli Tolvanen. Tolvanen gives Owen Tippett a good run for best shot in the draft. He can beat you with a quick snapshot off the rush, a one-timer from the point, and with a broomstick from the opposite end of the ice. I'm trying to say he likes to shoot, and he shoots often with deadly accuracy. The issue with him is his play away from the puck. He won't be a guy to look to when a penalty kill comes up, but when you have a player that can put the puck in the net like this, you have to take him. Winnipeg takes with the 13th overall pick, Christian Vesalainen. A lot of scouts are still very high on him despite his poor draft season. He failed to produce much offense in the SHL and was loaned to the Liga, where he didn't fare much better. He rebounded with a strong performance at the U18 tournament, where he dominated. Vesalainen is a big, strong winger that plays a versatile game. He is a beast along the wall and hard to move in front of the net. He also has soft hands and a quick release. He projects as a nice middle six winger at the very least. At 14, I have Tampa Bay taking Juuso Valimaki. Big and agile, this two-way defender led all first-year draft-eligible defensemen in CHL scoring. Valimaki is a highly skilled puck distributor who skates very well and loves to turn the tides with a quick strike transition game. His puck skills and shot are both above average, and it should come to no surprise that his wheels, hands, size, and vision make him one of the favorites to be a lottery pick in June. He is capable of running a power play and will enter the zone with either speed or patience. He has good footwork and a long wingspan that makes it difficult for attackers to get around. He does, however, need to be more active in the D zone by taking charge rather than being a passenger. And finally, at number 15, I have the New York Islanders taking Elias Andersson. As an 18-year-old, Andersson played third-line minutes in Sweden's top league and was given penalty kill time. He is considered a well-rounded prospect who can do a little bit of everything, and while he's not overly flashy, his decision-making and determination will be his biggest contributors to making it at the NHL level. He understands how to play his game and is reliable in all 3 zones. I'd also like to shout out Klim Kostin, Eric Brandstrom, Nick Suzuki, and Michael Rasmussen, as they were all at one point in my top 15. I just like these guys a little bit better. So that's going to do it for me for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'll be posting a lot more draft prospect videos leading up to the draft, as well as some expansion draft videos and just anything hockey related over the summer. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys later.